It was built on the idea on perspective. We believe in strong first impressions, the artwork, the story, the experience.
Small toy train that runs around the track. There are some toys which we animated. We didn't really have an animator.
So it's a very zen-like 3D puzzle game where you look at things from certain angles. We are one of the top performing games on arcade. Microsoft was really excited about the game. Hi, I'm Chirag Chopra from Lucid Labs.
Hi, my name is Jibran and I'm the lead developer with Lucid Labs. And you're watching me on
Games made in India on
IGN India.
So Lucid Labs started in 2015 after I completed my master's in game design from a college in Pune. And after that, I already had in mind I wanted to make games, and this was something that I wanted to do for my entire life, but which is how I thought it's better to get an education in the field and just a general know-how before jumping right into it. So I completed my master's, worked as a game designer in a few companies for a few years, and started the studio, indie studio, with the idea of making novel premium experiences with light-hearted storytelling.
First of all, it starts with a small prototype. So once Chirag talks to me about an idea, so we brainstorm the things that we want in a minimal prototype. So we just go about first researching the mechanics we want. It obviously goes the same with every problem that you break down stuff into small chunks and then you go about it. The very first level was a simple level where we had to rotate the room in front of a camera to get that first object in place. So the very first thing we did was just see how the mechanic works. So we got a small script and did the whole thing, and we kind of felt like, no, this idea works, and so we could build upon it, and we could iterate and make more complex levels. So I guess that's how we start. Then again, breaking the problems will come once you start working on it. You get every day you get new mechanics, you add new mechanics, you get new problems, and you do it again stepwise. So that's all there is to it, mostly.
Possessions is a minimalist, zen-like experience about spatial awareness. So it was built on the idea on perspective. At the very core, it started with the idea, people look at things and people perceive things with different perspective. It depends on who's watching. That was the whole thing, about. And the game is, roughly based on that idea. It invites players to look at objects from different angles until it makes sense. And the game is a puzzle game, of course, with a story about. In this game, you do learn about the family, inhabiting the house in that you play, and it's told with a lot of environmental storytelling. So you get to learn a lot about what's going on in their lives. You look at the photo frames, you look at the stickers on their walls, and you understand what is this family going through. Plus there are some snippets. So it's a very zen-like 3D puzzle game where you look at things from certain angles and find that right perspective. So with Apple Arcade, initially, because it was an exclusive game for 3 years, Apple renewed it for another 2 years. We are one of the top performing games on arcade, so they are really intrigued about just keeping us there. But after 4 years, we realized the kind of potential, having just being on one platform versus being on more platforms. We realized we could just try and see, and we created a version for Xbox because with the controls and all, we enhanced the game a lot. And Microsoft was really excited about the game because they have been watching us, they have been watching the game, which is how we got into their program as a second-party title. And they approached us to be in the ID at Xbox program. And this is how it happened, and we are working directly with them under their program to bring the game to Xbox next year.
First enhancement that comes is to the visuals of the game. So you have to improve your textures, you have to enlarge them so that it could fit better, look better on a bigger screen. Other than that, most of the time the mechanics of the game remain the same. We did add some enhancements to the possessions, because let's say we added a new hint system for the people who could help them to clear levels quickly, and things like that. But most of the time, especially with our game, it was mostly visual enhancements that were done so that it could appear much better on a bigger screen, and since Xbox's hardware gives us more leeway to do that. So yeah, that was the main thing that we did.
Absolutely. So because we also want to, expand our wings, and now that we've tried out with possessions and we are bringing it, we are going to be exploring some ideas, and not just PC, because it's a game about perspective. We are exploring VR as an option, and we are proud to announce that we are also working with Meta as a partner, and directly working with them on bringing possessions to Quest 2 and Quest 3 as a title officially supported by them. And this is something that we see ourselves not only exploring platforms, but also different ways of playing, different ways of enjoying the same experience. When you open our website, you immediately realize that these guys hate money, because the kind of games they are making, right? They stand out in ways where, okay, polished, novel, creative, but chances are it won't stand next to, let's say, the other free-to-play mammoth, right? That helps us stand out, basically. We believe in strong first impressions, the artwork, the story, the experience we create, and the polish, obviously. So these are the things what helps us stand out, right? And also as a platform, you have to realize, let's say Apple or Google or anyone, even they want their consumers to always see something different on the store, right? So they have access to these options, which is how making something like what we do, and with the kind of aesthetics and the design language Apple, you see it in their own products, that helps us in getting that kind of support, because we know these are the kind of games they would adore.
Back then when we started, as I said, Chirag and I, like, it was just the two of us and doing the whole thing on our own and wearing different hats in terms of, for example, I'll give you an example. In possessions, we like, in the rooms there are some toys which we animated. We didn't really have an animator, so we used to spend multiple nights animating things. Like, we have a small toy train that runs around the track. We did that all on our own. I don't know, I'm very nostalgic about it, working like as a small team back then and not knowing what would happen. Obviously, like, we didn't even care about money back then. Obviously, we were new at it. Much like with age, you mature and realize, no, money is also important in life. But yeah, the entire time I worked on the game, I look at it very fondly.
Thanks for watching. Follow Lucid Labs on our socials for updates, and
Do check out our games on our socials.
let us know what you think.